This lecture deals with the concepts of civilization, social behavior, etc., as given by Radha Kamal Mukherjee. A quick introduction, and it is also a recapitulation because Radha Kamal Mukherjee has already been discussed in one video. He was influenced by BNCR, Binoy Kumar Sarkar, and Patrick Geddes, and he sought to offer an alternative to the Western theoretical approach in sociology. He used multidisciplinary approach to study the various phenomena in the society, and he wanted to comprehend the reality in a better way according to the given time and also in the Indian perspective. About his views on personality, he said that man takes decision on the basis of three factors. So, this concept is basically more philosophical in nature, and it was criticized because not many people were able to comprehend it. So, he said that there are three factors which affect the decision of man. That is, first, self, that is the psychological behavior, nature, biological factors, environmental factors. Second is others. Others comprise of the society. And third is the cosmos. Cosmos talk about the metaphysical or spiritual. He said that human personality is influenced by the first two, that means the self and the others. They influence it, but they do not determine the personality. He said that the sum total of the individual's characteristic mode of adjustment at different dimensions, that is, the different dimensions are biological, social, and cosmic. This is what? Nothing other than personality. Coming to the role of society, and what was society according to him? The sum of structures and functions through which man orients himself to three dimensions or level of his environment is society, in the words of Radha Kamal Mukherjee. These three dimensions are ecological, psychosocial, and moral. The basic requirements that a society fulfills is of sustenance status and value fulfillment. He said that society is important because it gives value fulfillment and also a sustenance status to be present in the world that you're living in and to recognize your place in the society. His important concept of universal civilization. So he said that he gave a very general theory of society, and he stressed on explaining the importance of values. As we have already discussed in the first part of Radha Kamal Mukherjee, that he laid uh, stress on the concept of values. He talked about civilization in a very inclusive sense, and he said that culture is a part of it. This is very important. So, the three interrelated levels of human civilization that he discussed about are biological evolution, universalization, and lastly, the spiritual dimension. You see how these words keep coming back and back because he has also discussed the philosophical phenomena in society. So he said that in order to study civilization, there has to be a requirement or it needs that the three kinds of dimensions should be taken into consideration. First is the biological evolution, where the rise and development of the society or the civilization took place. So, the biological evolution, it possesses the capacity to change and also mold the environment. The environment can be changed because of the biological evolution. Next is the psychosocial dimension, which talks about ethical relativism. Okay, relativism is where there is a comparison, and the last is spiritual dimension, where man moves up to the ladder of spirituality by doing what? By overcoming the constraints of biogenic and existential levels. That means the man made things, the existential level, the problems that we face on a day to day basis when the person is has risen above these things. When he goes beyond these things, he finds the spiritual dimension. He said that human progress was possible only if the glaring disparities of wealth and power between the countries were reduced. So, when these tiny things that take place on the existential level, when someone rises above them, then what happens? The tiny things like disparities of wealth and power, they seem meaningless, and the conflicts begin to reduce. Second important thing, he said that so long as poverty persisted or political oppression continued, further integral evolution of mankind was not a practical proposition. That means he's asserting that poverty and political oppression has to be done away with in order to evolve in a very suitable manner for the mankind. Otherwise it is not very practical, because if poverty is increasing and the population is also increasing, then it does not really make any sense. The persisting human awareness of misery in the world has stimulated the search for universal values and norms. We have also studied these in Merton's laws, when he has talked about anomy, that when there is a lot of misery and sufferings and pain, what does the human resort to? He looks up for alternatives. He finds his spiritual path. He goes for his calling, and he finds values and norms around him. The next concept given by him was of social behavior. He said that economic behavior is not always separate from social life. For example, when you are hungry, you will search for food, okay? But what happens when there is no availability of food? And on that, consider you are a vegetarian and you have been hungry for 15 days, 20 days. You will go and eat something which is not allowed or which you have been prohibited from, just because of what? Of your hunger. That means economic behavior, it is not always separate from the social life, and values enable people to act in ways which are sanctioned by the society. So we act in a way that we do because that is our society, that is what our society allows, and there are things that the society prohibits, so we do not do it because it is not sanctioned by the society. And when the people act in a way that is sanctioned by the society, the result is the well being of community as a whole. Next, he has discussed about urban social problems. So, urban social problems, it affects the slum life in a very adverse manner, where there is poor housing, lack of access to amenities, and therefore crime rates keep on increasing. There's a lack of legislature for unorganized sector and for the seasonal employees that are there. As a result, there's an increase in consumption of liquor and drugs, and when there is an increase in liquor and drugs, there are many adverse consequences like domestic violence, and it as a whole it deteriorates economic and moral conditions of the people living in the urban slums. Let us discuss some questions. Which of these is Radha Kamal Mukherjee's famous work of study of agrarian class? So the answer will be Fiends and Farmers of Awadh. Second, which of these are among the findings of Radha Kamal Mukherjee's study of crime in urban areas? So, the first statement is it gives rise to crime rate. This is correct. Second statement is the unorganized workers, they are not protected by a lot of legal safeguards. And the third statement, housing conditions, they worsen because of the vices like alcohol consumption or drugs, etc. Because then the earning members of the house, if they're not working and if they're addicted to alcohol or something, it deteriorates their economic and moral conditions. The fourth statement says that the legislative acts are there for all kinds of sectors but are not implemented properly. So the thing is, there is a lack of legislative acts, which was pointed out by Radha Kamal Mukherjee, that in the unorganized sector, the legislative acts um, are not present. So I hope you got this lecture. Thank you for watching.